Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel one more time. It's been hectic throughout the week, but we thank God that we are alive. Alright, so we are going to be going to shoes. Shoes are an essential part of dressing, an everyday dressing. You can obviously wear your clothes without wearing your footwears. And of course, there are various types of footwears, but I'm gonna just be focusing on shoes. This is gonna be a three-part series video. The first and the second are gonna be dwelling on the types of shoes, the namings, the designs, and then the third part is gonna be dwelling on what to wear to which occasion. So, are you ready? Let's delve right into it. Now, the first category of shoes I'm going to be talking about today are the formal shoes, the formal types of shoes. And the first in that list is the Oxford. Now, the Oxford is the most formal kind of men's shoes. Of course, we are talking about men's shoes for now, right? Ladies are going to go into yours later. So, the Oxford is the most formal type of men's shoes. An example of an Oxford is this. It is usually worn, of course I'm not going to talk about where it is being worn to this time around, but just for reference purposes, you can wear it to the office, dinner parties and whatever. But they are very formal type of shoes. In a bit I'm going to be telling you what makes it an Oxford, but basically an Oxford is any kind of formal shoe that has a lacing, just like this, that has a lacing system. Now we have the second part, second kind of shoes that are called the derby kind of shoes, DERBY, derby kind of shoes. They look similar to the Oxford, but there's a difference between an Oxford and a derby. If you look at this picture, you see that the derby also has a lacing. But the difference between an Oxford and a derby is that an Oxford has a closed lacing system. So when I say a closed lacing system, this is what I mean right here. This is one of my old shoes. This is actually a derby shoe. If you look at this place right here, it has an open lacing as opposed to the Oxford that will always have a closed lacing system stitched just down below here, just like you see in the image right now. So the Oxford has the closed lacing system, while the derby has an open lacing system. Those are the two major differences between an Oxford and a derby. Now there's a third called the blotcher. Now this fashion or this type of shoe is not so recognized by so many people, just because there's not so much difference between a derby and a blotcher, because they are basically the same thing. But the difference between the derby and a blotcher is that right here, this is actually a blotcher, because it just has this piece of leather sewn just at the top of this part right here. But as opposed to a derby, in a derby, the whole leather is sewn right here down, down to the back, the heel cap, and around it. This is a very old shoe that is spoiled, so I'm just using it for illustration. Okay, so that is basically the difference, just like you see in the image right here. The leather is from the lacing, from the tongue and then down towards the back. That's the difference. Why the blotcher just has that leather just right above at the tip right here. Okay, those are the two types of or two differences between a derby and a blotcher. Now the fourth path or the fourth type of official shoes are the monk strap. I used to have a monk strap, but it's not right here. But this is a monk strap right in the picture. it's called a monk strap because it always has that buckle, crossing over like a strap. Okay, so now you can have a single monk strap like you have in the picture, or a double monk strap. Sometimes it can even come as much as a triple monk strap, for what is it called right now? Quadruple monk strap. Okay, now I'm gonna be these four types of shoes can come in different forms. So I'm going to be explaining some terms which are also types of shoes. Anyway, the first is broguing, or a brogued shoe. A brogued shoe is a shoe that has perforated designs in the front, like this right here is a brogued shoe. Okay, so the broguing is these designs you see right in the front tip, okay, and right here as well. Okay, that is what is called a brogued shoe. So an Oxford can either come okay, there isn't any broguing. An Oxford just comes as an Oxford. There's usually no broguing in an Oxford, right? Well, there is it can mix up. You can have broguing in an Oxford, and you can have broguing in a derby. You can have broguing in a blotcher. You can have broguing in a monk strap. Okay, now the second is the wingtip. Wingtip is this W shape right here that goes right around the shoe. That is what a wingtip is. Okay, so any shoe that has this double U design, just like in the picture, right here, and right here. Okay, they are all called wing-tipped shoes, or wing-tip design shoes. So you can find a wingtip in a derby. You can find a wingtip in a monk strap. You can find it in an Oxford. You can find it in a blotcher. All right. And now the next is a cap toe. A cap toe shoe is a shoe that has kind of part of the toe covered with a different leather material, or leather, a different leather from the whole shoe, just like you see in the picture right here. If you look at the toe area, it is like there's a different leather sewn right on top of the shoe. Okay, so you can also see a cap toe shoe in a monk strap, in a blotcher, in a derby, and in an Oxford. Right. Now the next is a split toe. This right here in the picture is an example of a split toe shoe. You can also find it else in a monk strap, blotcher, derby, Oxford. Okay, another design is the plain toe, or a hole cut. In a hole cut or a plain toe, there is no design at the front. It is just a plain shoe. That's why it's called a hole cut. Okay, just like you see in the picture right here, there is no design. It's called a hole cut. So you can also see a hole cut mostly in an Oxford shoe most of the time, but you can also see it in a derby. You can see it in a blotcher. You can see it in a monk strap. All right. Okay, so that is that for formal shoes. Alright, so the next set of shoes is the casual or less formal set of shoes. The first among them is the slip-on shoes. A slip-on shoe is a shoe you can just slip your leg into without needing a lace or any adjustment. You just slip your leg, just like you see in the picture right here. There is no special opening, extra opening for the thong or for the flaps. It's just what you slip your leg into. Okay, and there's the second part are called the loafers. The loafers is also a kind of a slip-on, just that it usually has a specific kind of design, just like you see in the picture. The loafers is usually worn casual outfit. Of course, I'm going to do that next video. But it is basically a kind of slip-on shoe. Right now, the next is a mock. Mocks come in different forms. They can come as a driving mock, jumbo mock, or boot mocks. Mocks are usually in this kind of design. That this is a mock shoe. Alright, this also is a mock shoe. It always has, you know, that design at the front of it. And then the next is the moccasin. The moccasin is a kind of loafers. Of course, loafers come in different forms as well. There's the penny loafers and all sorts of loafers. Okay, but moccasin is also a kind of loafers, but it has its own kind of design. You know, kind of an elevated design at the front. This is an example of a moccasin, which always has a different kind of sole as well. Now the fifth is Crocs. Crocs are kind of a semi-shoe, semi-flip-flop, or whatever. You know, you just slip in your leg, and it's very, very informal kind of shoe. Alright, so in the next, this is the end of this is all for, you know, less formal shoes. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about boots and lace up shoes and sporty shoes. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video. I hope you learned something in this video, learned something in this video, and the different names that the shoes are called and why they are called, you know, such names. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions, or of course bear in mind that there can also be cross names for these shoes. For example, what I have here is actually a blotcher wingtip probed black shoe. Alright, so I'm combining the names. Now some others may just go ahead to call this a derby shoe, right? If you just, for a simple name, like I said, the derby and the blotcher can be used interchangeably because there isn't much difference. Just the difference is just that this leather, extra leather over here. Besides that, you can call this a formal blotcher or derby wing-tipped brogued black leather shoe, and that is the full name for that. Alright, you know, likewise, something of this nature is just a derby whole cut shoe. Bear in mind that these shoes mustn't come in leather forms. They can come in sweat forms. They can come in you know, snake skin, different kinds of forms. But we are talking based on the designs that they have, and this design doesn't necessarily include the soles. Like this sole is a flat sole. Alright, it is not, the name doesn't include the name is usually derived from the designs on the top. So derby or blotcher actually, because it just has a little bit of this, okay, you know, hold cut, because there's no other design, you know, in the front right here. Okay, so actually this is actually a box, like P-U-C-K-S. That's the right name for this shoe, but I'm going to be talking about that in the next video, so stay tuned and you'll know why that is called a box.